listen, it's your boy, Dre Sense, and we got a little bit of a video, a little bit of a discussion. You know how we do it here on the channel. Just wanted to make a impromptu little video this morning as I had to take one of my partners to get some medical work done. So I thought I would take the time to talk to my peoples real quick. Listen, before we get into that though, I need something from you. I need you to like this video. I need you to share this video. And if you haven't, I need you to sub to the channel. I apologize in advance for the footage being a little bit shaky, but I don't have my tripod with me. So we doing handheld. So bear with your boy. Oh, center of the day is one of my new ones. It's that, where's the front of the bottle? Can't hardly see it. It's that Burberry Hero Parfum Intense, or Intense Parfum, whichever it is. That's a good smelling fragrance. I like it. Okay. So, and like this video, share this video, sub to the channel, and continue to check in. I think I just said that though. I did. But anyway, what I want to talk to my peoples about, listen, a few common mistakes I feel like people are making in FragCom, in the world of fragrance. As many of you know, if you've been watching any of my videos, I did a pretty big fragrance haul. I do that maybe twice a year whenever my dealers does the Sensational. I take advantage of it, and I think I do pretty good. I walk out of there with 16, 17 fragrances. Normally spend about $1,000, but that comes down to about $60 a fragrance. I do that for multiple reasons. One, if you don't know, I work in retail. I work at a grocery store. So I appreciate the brick and mortar stores. See what I'm saying? That's how I make my money. Now, for those that don't know, I'm on disability, so I do get, some money. I choose to work to have something to do and help support this hobby of mine, which is fragrances and fragrance reviews. So part of the reason that I go to a place like Dillard's is, for one, to support my brick and mortar. The young ladies that work there, like Tristan and Lindsay and Miss Linda, really cool people. They always take care of me. They always make sure I leave out of there with something other than just the fragrances. So it's all, that's one thing. But to my point, while I was in there shopping, doing my thing, picking out my fragrances, a couple came in. Decently dressed couple, nothing, major, just a couple. And I'm watching them, because I like to get people's reactions. I like to see other people while they're smelling fragrances and see what they like and see what they're, sniffing and go, ooh, that smells good. I don't like that. I like to be in that environment just to see how other people are reacting to certain fragrances, right? So, he's looking around, doing his thing. And then finally they go, can we help you? Do you need some help? And he goes, yeah. Y'all got any Creed? And she's like, no, we don't have any, but I can order you anything that you want. Like, which Creed are you looking for? And then this girl starts to speak, and she's like, the one in the white and gold bottle. And I'm just shaking my head like, here we go with this. And then his next question is, do y'all have any Parfums de Marly? And then she goes, no, but I can order you anything that you want. And he's like, oh, okay. Really, my point is, he really didn't even know what he was looking for. He just had heard a few names on probably TikTok or some form of social media. So that brings me to my point, or one of my points. And I think one of the mistakes that we're making in FragCom is this. Just because it costs more or it's expensive doesn't necessarily mean that it's better. We got to get out of this mindset of just because it costs $200 that it's supposed to be a better fragrance. We got to get out of that mindset, especially with guys like Kevin Holt over at Sensual Obsessions, Travis Gearhart at Dapper, got Making Sense. You got Alexandria. You got Genre. You got, and then you got the stuff that's a little bit easier to get to, like Lattafa, Afnan. You got Armaf. You got Al Haramein. You got tons and tons and tons of fragrances out here that you can get for $50 and under that smell amazing, that last an extremely long time. So why are we still so fixated on running out and spending an arm and a leg on fragrances? You know, is it our faults as, content creators? Because we constantly push it and push it and push it. Again, yeah, I know I just spent a pretty good amount of money on fragrances. But again, I did that for more than one reason. For one, I like to support the brick and mortar stores. And I know when I go there, I'm going to pay more for certain fragrances than I would if I got them online. But again, looking at what I got in totality and some of those fragrances being discontinued. For example, I picked up another Dior Homme. Ooh, that fragrance is going for what? Anywhere from $150 to $220. You can't buy it anywhere. I picked up Dolce & Gabbana, the One Sport. Can't buy that fragrance. This fragrance right here, that's a $220 fragrance for retail somewhere. So, again, I'm in a parking lot. So if you're wondering what I'm looking at, I'm just making sure. I pulled over here by myself, and of course, people are pulling up around me, and I didn't do the best job parking because I was over here by myself. So, but anyway, so I get spending some money, but again, my thing is, and my question is this, I have a question as well. Those used to be considered niche fragrances, especially when I started paying attention to when I started paying attention to fragrance reviews and reviewers. To get a Creed fragrance was holy grail. To get a Parfums de Marly fragrance was holy grail. But ask yourself, what Creed fragrance today would you get and spend your money on that you think is absolutely top tier? Royal Mayfair, maybe. Royal Oud, I still think is a good one. But Aventus is no longer a designer fragrance. I mean, it's no longer a niche fragrance. That scent profile is everywhere. Can't consider that niche anymore. And the same thing with Parfums de Marly. Which Parfums de Marly fragrance would you consider niche? Leighton? Percival? And which one would you consider? Harrod? Which one would you consider niche now? Godolphin is probably my favorite. And that's one of the few that I would still consider niche, because the rest of the line, or the rest of the fragrances that I've smelled from Parfums de Marly, smell like really high quality designer fragrances, which brings me back to some of the other stuff that I've named, like Sensual Obsessions, Dapper. Isn't that kind of what they make? Is fragrances that are designer, that are sort of designer with a really good smell. So why would you pay $300 to $400 for one bottle of Parfums de Marly? I mean, I get it if it was somebody mixing up some bathtub brew, but these companies, again, Armaf, Dapper, Sensual Obsessions, Lattafa, Al Haramein, those are some good houses, and that's just to name a few. But there are a lot of good houses out there that are making high quality fragrances. So why would you spend that kind of money to get a fragrance that really just smells like a well-made designer fragrance? You know what I'm saying? I think Zoology is still niche. I think Eight & Bob is still niche. I think Armaf is still niche, but you don't hear a lot of people talking about Eight & Bob. You don't hear a lot of people talking about zoology, and you don't hear a lot of people talking about Amouage. Think about it. Think about it. The fragrance houses that we're pumping, like Baccarat Rouge, that's not a niche fragrance anymore. You can pick up that scent profile 50,000 different times. And I'm not saying that it's not a high quality fragrance. I'm just saying that scent profile is everywhere. So how do you consider that fragrance still niche? That's one of the things, one of the mistakes that I think we make in FragCom as fragrance reviewers and as fragrance consumers, thinking that if we pay more for it, it's going to be better. That's not always the case. In most cases, it's not the case. The second thing that I think we are messing up and making a huge mistake doing is buying into this EDP, P, elixir, extract crap. And the reason that I say it like that is very simple. I smelled several fragrances over the weekend. Over the last, couple of weekends, because the first weekend I went and selected my fragrances. And then I had to go back and get them. So of course I'm still smelling stuff. So I smell the new Jean Paul Gaultier elixir perfume or whatever it is, because they made the elixir, the one in the gold bottle, and then they made another one in the gold bottle that looks just like the other one in the gold bottle with just a few differences. So I spray it, because I'm excited. I'm like, ooh, let me smell this. I spray it. I'm like, it smells just like the other. Like, I'm not saying that they didn't take out a note or add a note or whatever, but I'm just saying when I smelled it on that paper, I'm just like, and then it's what, damn near $200? Like $190? Like, again, and it goes back to, just because they're charging us more doesn't mean that it's a better fragrance. But when it comes out, they get it in the hands of certain people, and they put it out there, and you have certain reviewers going, oh, it's the new Jean Paul Gaultier elixir by night, or whatever. Now, again, there are certain fragrances I'm a fanboy of. I love the Wanted line, Wanted and Most Wanted. So if they drop a Most Wanted, I'm gonna get it. If Valentino drops a fragrance, I'm more likely gonna get it. I like those houses. Is it a redundant purchase by me? It is. But my thought process behind that, again, is this. I don't mind supporting retail. That's one. And two, those fragrances are going to be eventually discontinued, and the price is going to go up. And when the price does go up, I'm going to be sitting there with a full bottle, box, everything. And I'll double or triple my money off of it. And again, you have to look at it in totality. The fragrance, I think, was $100. The Valentino extra dose was, $150. But again, when you look at all the fragrances that I got in totality, I paid $62. So that's kind of hard to beat. So it is what it is. But I think we make the mistake of thinking just because they stick a fancy name on it that it's going to be something different or something better. And a lot of times it's not. And I'm saying this, from both sides of the fence, from both sides of the coin, because I don't want y'all to think that you're missing something if you are not running to the department stores getting fragrance. I don't want y'all to think that y'all are missing anything, if you're not going and spending a ton of money. Like, that's not the objective of my channel. That's never what I want you to do. The objective of my channel is to hopefully help inform you so you don't spend a whole lot of money, so you get the best bang for your buck. That's always been the objective of this channel from day one. I spend it because, I'm in a different situation. Again, I'm single, no wife, no children, So, it is what it is. My life affords me the ability to do certain things, but even still, I want to make wise decisions, and I think that I do that. But I don't want you to feel like that you have to go out and get, like, okay, for example, it's been popping up all over TikTok, the new Polo 67 EDP. Is it good? Yeah. Is it worth paying full retail for? No. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I told the girls, and when I'm shopping for fragrances, and it's certain fragrances they'll try to show me, and I said, nah, I'll be getting that at TJ Maxx in Burlington in a year and a half or so for $50. And they just go, you're right. Like Coach, the new Coach perfume. I bought it, had it, sprayed it on, and I was just like, I can't pay $122 for this. Even though, again, the price on it was absorbed with everything that I bought, I still couldn't pay $122 for it. Couldn't do it, because I know in 6 to 8 months that fragrance will be popping up at TJ Maxx, because it doesn't last. Does it smell good? Yeah. But I'm gonna tell you what it reminds me of, because this is where we are in the game. It reminds me of Calvin Klein's Defy. Diffie, if you fancy. That's what it reminds me of. As a matter of fact, it's not as good as Defy. EDT or EDP. It's not as good as either one of those. And you can pick those up for $35, $40 all day long. So there's no need to pay $122 for Coach perfume. Now, again, if you're a Coach fanboy and you like Coach and you like, well, I got all the other Coaches, so I'm gonna get that one too. I perfectly and totally understand that. I totally get it. But don't feel like that if you don't have it, that you're missing out on something, because that is just not the case. All right. Now I'm going to get to the last thing I want to talk about, and then I'm going to wrap this video up because we're getting long. Summer fragrances, fall fragrances, spring fragrances, winter fragrances. I'm one, I feel like you should wear what you want to wear, how you want to wear it, when you want to wear it. And the reason that I'm that way is because I don't think when these manufacturers, like this fragrance right here, I don't think when they made this fragrance, they think, man, this going to kill them in the winter. I don't think that's what they thought. I think they thought, let's make a fragrance. The Burberry Hero line has been good. Burberry Hero kind of put Burberry back in the ball game because they've been on the sideline for a while. So let's capitalize on the Hero line. And that's what they've done. But I don't think at all when they made this fragrance that their thoughts were, this gonna kill it in the wintertime. But in the summertime, they ain't gonna mess with it. I don't think that's how it works. I don't think that's the way it works. So my point is this: if you have a fragrance that you like, wear that mug when you want to, how you want to, where you want to, the way you want to. And the reason that I say that is this: I have worn fragrances that you would typically think are best in the summer, and one that comes to mind, I'll never forget wearing it on a really cold day and how well it performed and how good it smelled and how many compliments I got. That was Lacoste L12 Eau Fresh, the one in the green gradient bottle. And I wore that stuff one day on a cold winter's day. I got so many compliments because it was just pumping. And it was cold. It was like 30 degrees cold. But it was a pretty day. That's why I wore it. Because the sun was shining, it was bright, it was pretty. So I'm going to spray this on today. I like my oud. I wear my oud in the summer. Now I can't put 60 sprays of it on. But I still wear my oud fragrances in the summer. And I know that irritates a lot of people. Somebody right now shaking their head going, ooh. Okay. It works for me. I'm just telling you, it works for me. Especially if you're talking about a really well-made fragrance. And there's a difference in a cheap, inexpensive fragrance and a well-made fragrance. And that kind of goes back to how I started this video. You don't have to spend a lot of money to get well-made fragrances. Not anymore. Not anymore. Now, I get it. A lot of times, it used to be bathroom brew stuff sitting around at TJ Maxx and Burlington's out of the box, just sitting there. You can get some of that stuff and spray it on, and it smells good for 10 minutes. And after 15 minutes, it smells like an alcoholic concoction. Even those fragrances, like Milestone, that's another great house. I got 5 or 6 fragrances from Milestone. They all smell good and they all perform good, and they're $14 fragrances. $14. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we don't have to spend an arm and a leg anymore to smell good. We don't. You can get high quality fragrances for fractions on the dollar. You can. Pennies on the dollar. You can. And don't be fooled by a company slapping Elixir, or because they piss me off with that Elixir mess. And Dior started it. Oh, we're gonna call it Elixir. We're gonna give you a smaller bottle and charge you damn near $200 for it. No, sir. You will not. No, sir. And ever since then, everybody's followed suit. YSLY Elixir. This bottle is big. $200. I smelled, what is it? The new Giorgio Armani Elixir. What is it? Profondo Elixir in the little black bottle. Smells good. Smells just like everything else from Acqua di Gio. They sticking an Elixir price tag on it and wanting to charge you an arm and a leg. It's like, bro, that's not what we're doing. Just because you stick Elixir or Absolute or Intense on it don't mean that I'll tell you what's Absolute is the price. Absolute insane. I'll tell you what's Intense, the blood pressure when you see the price tag on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, now I'm not saying that they don't put a little bit more oil concentration in it, but it's still not worth the price that they're asking for it. So just be vigilant and don't feel like that just because it has this price tag or this name attached to it or whatever, that you're missing out if you don't have it. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I know that there's a lot of reviewers that'll tell you, oh, the new Trade Day Extrait Elixir, it's the best version. And it's, $350, but it's the best version. That's not necessarily the case. And I'll give you a perfect example. Again, we all know I am an Azzaro fanboy, going back to Chrome. That's one of my favorites. I got to buy me another bottle of Chrome because mine is kind of, some of the notes have soured a little bit, so I need a fresh bottle. The Most Wanted line, I love it. Absolutely love it. I think it's one of the most complete lines in Fragcom. I absolutely love it. Everybody forgets about the original Wanted, and then they certainly forget about Wanted by Night. I wore Wanted by Night the other day, and it caused a stir. Now I just bought the new Most Wanted Forever. Haven't worn it yet. It's good, but I'm telling you, it's no better. Listen to me now, believe me later on. It is good, but it is absolutely no better than the original Wanted or Wanted by Night. It's not. Is it good? Yes. Am I going to wear it and enjoy it? Absolutely. Absolutely. But is it head and shoulders better than the original Wanted, which came out how many years ago, that you can pick up everywhere for what, $50, $40? Or even Wanted by Night? Is it better? It's not. It's not. It's not worse, but is it head and shoulders better? Is it the reinvention of the wheel? No, it's not. It is not. I bought it because I like the line of Wanted. And again, when I do this sensational, I have an opportunity to add some fragrances to my collection at a affordable price. That's why I do it. Now the bill adds up, but it is what it is. So, but yeah, those are just a few things, a few common mistakes that I think we are making in Fragcom that I don't want y'all to make, and I don't want y'all to be sitting around going, man, I gotta get that, I gotta get that, I gotta get that. You don't, bro, you don't. Not unless you plan on doing some reviews or something, I'm sure you have plenty in your collection that smells good and that you can make work. That's what I'm here for. So, but anyway, you can still get, I brought this because I had wanted my partner to smell it, which is Trey Day. You can still get that over at Central Obsessions. I think it's a good one for this, for the spring and summer. Again, not gonna break the bank to smell good around here. Just don't. And while I got your attention, I'm thinking about selling, because I already have a bottle of Dior Homme Oud, and this is the third bottle that I've picked up from. I kept one, so yeah, this is the third bottle of Dior Homme Oud that I've picked up doing this sensational. They're gonna do another one in November. If they have another bottle of Dior Homme Oud, I'm gonna pick it up. So, thinking about selling Dior Homme Oud, thinking about selling Dior Homme Parfum, the 2025 batch, because I just not impressed with it. I mean, and that thing was fetching what, $220 price tags when it first came out. No way. Absolutely not worth $220. Absolutely. It's just not. It smells like something from Givenchy. You know, it smells like something from the Givenchy Gentleman line. So, I mean, you just have to be careful, because they get us with this new release and new bottle and and it's the same old juice, guys. It ain't. So spend your money wisely and don't be tricked into thinking that you have to get the new elixir or the new extrait de parfum or the new, you know, whatever, because you don't. Anyway, that's my 2 cents on the whole situation with Fragcom. I hope everybody having themselves a good Wednesday. Didn't mean for this video to take this long, but again, I'm waiting on my partner to come out, so yeah. But anyway, listen, I love you all, man, and thank you all for the support and the love that you've given me and this channel over the years. I greatly appreciate it.